Disability actually affects 20% of the population. That's 1 in 5 people that have some form of disability, something that they're struggling with on a day-to-day basis.
So discrimination does come in so many different ways, and most of them can be inadvertent. People may not realise they're actually discriminating against someone. Simple examples of that might be not thinking somebody can be a part of a group project, or particularly at a university here we have so many extracurricular opportunities, not inviting them to be a part of that, simply because they think they might not be able to or might not want to do it based on their disability.
I was born from family deaf. I can't hear any sounds unless I've got my hearing aids on. And with the hearing aid and the cochlear implant, I can hear like some sound, but to make sense of them, I need to be able to see people's lips so I can read their lips and understand what they're saying. I've had people express their amazement that I could read. I'm deaf. You know, it's just, I've got hearing loss, but that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with my ability to read.
They think, oh well, he might have an intellectual impairment as well, and so you get people sort of not wanting to make eye contact, or just being very awkward, you know, asking questions in a weird way, or like if you're walking past someone, they might like, you know, veer off into the garden or something, you know, and you're like, well, what are you doing, mate? But for me, because I've been in a wheelchair like forever, I've sort of grown up with it, so I don't really, I can sort of put it aside. I don't really care about it, you know, like, I mean, it still is frustrating and stuff, but I think the important thing is that you can laugh at it and look at it and go, well, yeah, it's actually pretty funny, because, I don't know, it's sort of, the other guy looks like an idiot, you know?
I think that a lot of people, might not understand really what they're doing. They might just think, oh, why do I have to be inclusive? Or they might just not really even realise what they're doing is discriminating at all. So I really think that education and just being aware of your own actions is really the important way to go with everything,
I have been completely blind since birth. Absolutely, people focus far too much on people with people's disabilities. You know, they need to focus on the abilities, the advantages of, you know, having someone work for them or having someone study with them, rather than the potential ramifications and potential disadvantages.
Invisible disabilities, I think, are particularly challenging because I think a lot of people don't disclose for fear of discrimination and fear of being classified as other.
In the university context, with things like the ASD spectrum and mental health conditions, these aren't visible things. Sometimes it might create some sort of barriers for you, or you're unsure of how to speak to people, and how to react to people. I would say that, you know, just to be really open-minded and genuine with people, and understand that it's actually really quite common.
The people I've known with autism, once you get to know them, you can tell when they're uncomfortable in a situation, or where they might be feeling stressed by a large crowd, and so then ask if they're okay or if they need to go do something else, or just be mindful of the fact that, you know, they might need someone to take the time to just check on them.
You often have people that just assume that you're lazy because you're young and you're in a mobility scooter. They can't actually see a physical disability, so they will often discriminate against you that way without even realising, or they'll see you walking with your walking stick and just assume that, well, you can walk, so why have you got a disability sticker or a mobility scooter?
There's a blurry line between what the disability actually causes in terms of a discrimination and what society causes in terms of a discrimination, and that line moves back and forth sometimes, but ultimately we need to break it down to let people see that disability really isn't a disability, it's just doing something different.
Working together, we can create an inclusive university community for everyone. For more information, visit usc.edu.au/student expectations.